Hello, health scholars. Welcome to another wonderful day. Today is actually an exciting day in our house because it's my oldest daughter's 10th birthday. It's crazy to me that she is turning 10, so I just have a hard time with that, but it is a good day because, like I told you guys before, we get to eat whatever we want on their birthdays, and so we got cinnamon rolls this morning, which were delicious. So I hope you all had a wonderful morning like I did, and now we are ready to get started on our health things. Before we get started, remember you're going to do your goal journal. For those of you that don't realize this, you are doing a goal project. You set a goal and you're working on that goal for the next 2 weeks. And we're going to hopefully achieve the goal that you set for yourself in the next 2 weeks. So you filled out your goal, your personal commitment form where whoever I am, set my goal. In 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do it, how it affects my health, what my plan is, who could get in my way or what could get in my way, who's going to support me, and then their signature on there. So this should have been done. If this making a personal commitment isn't done, it needs to be turned in immediately. This is a 100-point project. So we're setting goals. We set our goal. Now we've already filled in Saturday's box. We filled in Sunday's box. We filled in Monday's box. We filled in Tuesday's box. Today, you are filling in Wednesday's box. So you are going to tell me how you did on Wednesday. How did you do yesterday on your goal? Give me one sentence that tells me how you did yesterday. I reached my goal because I did this. I didn't reach my goal because of this, or I had a little setback because this happened. One full sentence. It cannot be I did it or I didn't do it. It has to be a sentence explaining how you did on your goal and why you felt that way about your goal. So one detailed sentence would be a good way to put it. All right, yesterday we learned about negative behaviors and emotions and how those can have an impact on our life and being able to control our emotions and just taking a minute to stop and think, because when those negative behaviors come out, most of the time the negative behaviors are coming out because we didn't stop and figure out what emotion was driving us and why we're feeling the way we're feeling, and then really think about a good way to handle the situation. So that's a lot of times why the negative behaviors come out. We just need that minute to take a step back and think, why am I so upset? Or why am I so angry? Or why am I frustrated with this? Figure out why, figure out ways to handle it, and then figure out which one's the healthiest way, okay? Something that can help you do that is values. Values are something that are instilled in you from when you're young. They come from family life, from your surroundings, and they can really help you decide on taking a step back and thinking about things, because they should be driving your behaviors. Okay, so in your notebook, you are titling today, Living Your Values. All right. Today's date is up on the board, so you need to look at the board and write the date down in your notebook. Okay, values are a belief system that influence our emotions and behaviors. You're going to journal about the one thing you value most in your life. Okay, a value can be a person. You can value someone in your life, like a parent or a grandparent. You can value a place or something, a place maybe you find solitude and energy or relaxation there. You can value a thing, maybe something that someone passed down from generation to generation that holds a very special place in your life. You can value an idea, so maybe that there should be peace across the world. That would be an idea. Maybe there should be clean water for everyone to drink. That would be a global idea. So those are ideas that you could value. And you can also value a quality like honesty or respect or trustworthiness. So those are all things that you could value. Those are all things that should help drive your behaviors and your choices. And those are the things that instinctively you fall back on when you are making a choice or making a decision and deciding how to react to a situation. Okay, so you should be writing, so you can pause the video, and you should be writing down in your notebook a couple sentences about the one thing that you value most in life and why. And remember, it could be any of those things that we talked about: a person, an idea, a place, a quality, an item. So it can be any of those things. Okay, so we have paused and now we have finished our warm up. So you're moving on. We just have a couple things for notes today. So you have 2 definitions. The definition of values is beliefs of a person in which they have a strong emotional investment. Values are often developed early in childhood and are heavily influenced by our family and surroundings. So the people in your life will help you, guide you. You'll watch them, you'll see what they value, what they believe in, and sometimes what they value and they believe in makes you value and believe in something totally different because you don't want to be like that person, or you want to take a different path in your life than maybe your parents took. So maybe the things they value are not the same, and maybe the things that they value you do value and you want to be just like them, or and you want to do and go and change the world like they're changing the world. So it's heavily influenced by the people that you're around, for the good or for the bad. It's also heavily influenced by things that just inside you find important. So it's important that we figure out what those things are. So we're going to do a couple activities today to help you figure out what those are. Before the activities, though, we are going to move just to the second definition, which is a universal value. And these are values that are common among most cultures and people throughout the world. So the definition says common beliefs shared by most people and cultures throughout the world. So some examples of these things: love. Love is shared. That's a belief that everyone needs to feel loved. So that's something that is going to be all across the world. Kindness, clean water, just clean environment to live in is something people value. People are thankful when they have clean water to drink and a clean place to stay. Safety, not living in a place where there's constant war and uncertainty, and a place where you could be unsafe and just staying at your house. So safety is a common universal value. And then honesty. People want to be told the truth. People want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear lies and be told things and then be deceived by things. So those are common across races, religions, ethnicities, different parts of countries, different parts of the world, different continents. Anywhere you go, those things would be valued. And that's what a universal value is. Something that almost everyone is going to value. Of course, there's going to be some exceptions to everything, but almost everyone is going to value those things, and that's a universal value. Okay. Today, you are going to go onto your Google Doc, and on there is a prioritizing my values assignment. You're going to start off with 8 values, 8 things that you hold dear. We're going to exclude family from this because it would be easy to fill up every box with a family member. So you're going to exclude family from this. I really want you to think, besides family, what other people, what other things, what other ideas and qualities do you really hold dear? What things in your life really help guide your decisions? Okay, so top 8. Then you're going to prioritize, which means you're going to select your top 4. What 4 definitely from the list need to move on from 8 to 4. Then you're going to go from 4 to 2, and then eventually down from 2 to 1. And then you're going to tell me how you prioritized your list and why you prioritized it the way that you did. Once you have finished, I want you to find a partner or a group of 3, no more than a group of 3. If there's 4 of you, split up into 2 partner groups. Okay, so 2 or 3 people, and you're just going to discuss your value list. And then there's 3 questions at the bottom of the paper that you can then answer after you've discussed your value list with your friend or your group, whoever you're with. And you can Change your list if you want to after talking to them, but then there's 3 questions that talk about if you did change your list, why, and maybe do other people sometimes influence our values, okay? When you are finished with that, I want you to come back to the video and do your wrap-up questions. And then after the wrap-up questions, there is a little personality test to help you figure out what you love, what you are great at, what your personality just kind of leads you towards, so that you can kind of figure out a little bit more about yourself and where you are, because those things are going to help you develop your values. They're going to help you decide where you're at, okay? When you're just living your life with no dream and no passion towards something, sometimes it can feel like, this just going through the motions, same old thing, going to school, whatever. You need to find what you love. You need to find what interests you and what excites you, and you need to pursue those things. Set the goals. We're working on the goal setting process. Set your goals and really go after those things. That is what gives value and meaning to your life. And that's what really then helps you feel great about who you are, and you're making a difference, and you are, even if it's just for yourself, you're really feeling empowered, and you could conquer the world, that you could go out and get whatever job you wanted, or you could go out and make a movement happen to change a policy or a procedure that you don't agree with, okay? There's a correct way and time and place for all of those things, and obviously working on self-control and understanding how to approach people, life skills just in general, as far as when to talk and when not to talk, are going to help you along that same path. But just recognizing the things within yourself that you need to work on, or the things within yourself that are already great, that will help shape your values, that will help shape your self-esteem, and that'll help lead you towards doing something just awesome, okay? So after the wrap-up questions are done, then you can go back to the personality quiz that's posted in the stream section. Also, it's not going to be a grade. It's totally optional. It's just for you, to help you see a little bit about you, a little bit about your personality and what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. So here's the wrap-up questions. What are values? And we have a couple different definitions up here that you can pick from as you summarize what values are. Tell me, why are values important when it comes to making decisions? So why do what we hold dear, why is that important when it comes time for us to make a decision? What do we think about? What things pop into our heads when I say, hey, if I do this, am I going to be disappointing this person? Or if I do this, is that going to interrupt my goal to become this? So think about how your values impact your decision-making process. So why are they important when you're making decisions? And how can living your values, how can maybe you value honesty or trustworthiness or respect? How can living those out in your life help you lead a healthier, more productive lifestyle? How can valuing true friendship, how can valuing commitment, and commitment means showing up when you're supposed to show up, being on time for things, following through, finishing the thing that you said you were going to finish, or being committed to making your family function better by helping with laundry and dinner and watching your younger siblings. How can those values help you lead a healthier and more productive life? So how can living out the things that you hold most dear, or the values you find most important, impact your life in a healthy way? I'll show you the question one more time. How can living values help you lead a healthier, more productive life? Okay. Super important. You need to know what's important to you. You need to know what you value. And it will even help you when selecting friends and selecting people that you want to share your life with. If someone's not honest and you value honesty, it might not be best to have them as part of your life, because they're going to constantly be disappointing you. So those are some things to think about when selecting friends and other people who are part of your life. All right, so value paper, so warm up and notes, they're pretty short today, and then get your value paper done, talk with a friend or a group, finish that, come back and do the wrap-up questions. If you finish that, then you can go back to the personality test. If you finish the personality test, there is an extra credit self-esteem poem on the computer cart that you can pick up and do. It will be posted, so it will be hung up on the wall. So when you're doing it, make sure you understand that. It is extra credit, so it's optional. Finish any missing assignments or start working on your extension activity. Everyone needs to do an extension activity, one extension activity between now and the end of health time. So that's your goal, is to finish one of those, any choice that you want between now and when health is over. Okay, have a great day.